Hello, friends. Welcome to What's Going On. My name is Ben Scurria. It's Tuesday. It's 9 p.m. You're hanging out here on 2MB. This is a weekly roundtable hangout show. I don't know how to call it. I just get some people that I like, and we all get together and we just talk. And we tell stories and we see what comes up, and we comment on that. And you're totally a part of it. Everybody out there watching, thanks for being here. If you questions, comments, anything like that, throw them in the chat. We'll throw them up on screen. We'll talk about it. We'll talk to you as we talk at you. It's a whole thing. This is great. Let's bring in our guests this week. We got a couple really fun people. So we'll welcome to the stream, and they can introduce themselves from there. Everybody, welcome Rachel and Steven and Britt. What's up, friends?
What's up?
Hi.
Sweet. Rachel, let's start with you. Let everybody know who you are, what you got going on, all that stuff.
Sure, Ben. I am Rachel. I am one of the executive producers of 2MB. I have a show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. EDT called Joy Posting, and also I'll be doing live improv the month of August every Sunday at 7 p.m. EDT at the Remnant Brewery. I'm part of the team of the month, so come see several people and seats, formerly several women and chairs.
We've taken on people of different orientations and also new names for where we sit. So that's great. People and seats. That's fun. What time is that show?
That is every 7 o'clock on Sunday of every Sunday of August.
Every 7 o'clock, every Sunday, 1 month a year,
That's
August.
amazing.
So check
That's
that
awesome.
out.
That'll be awesome being back on stage.
I'm looking forward to watching that and looking forward to getting everybody back on stage. Steven, what's going on? Thanks for being here again.
Yeah, happy to be here. Not much is going on. I recently had some relatively silly words published in the magazine Current Affairs.
Wow.
Congratulations.
I figured I'd push that. I wrote about the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett.
Oh yeah.
And how they're super funny, which they are. And anyway, and the politics related to it. So it'll be up online soon. The article will be online at some point in the future, but if you subscribe, you'll get the paper copy and you'll get my article.
Steven and I were talking a little bit before the show started, everybody, about Ted Lasso. And this is going to sound like a stretch maybe, but like we're talking about stuff that is both funny and has heart. And I feel like Terry Pratchett
hugely
is a huge, like, whether people know it or not, the influence that he has had on storytelling and the way that you can be irreverent.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Oh, and he's muted. Yeah, anyway, so I talk about the politics of Terry Pratchett, but I think that inherent in the way that he wrote and in the way that Ted Lasso is written and filmed and everything, it's just like this fun openness to different things, and they use it to make jokes and everything. But and in my article I wrote, there's some just leftist, open, progressive thoughts and politics built in there. I think just inherently in that kind of storytelling, which is really cool. Anyway, and honestly, there are times where I would like wake my wife up because I was giggling reading Terry Pratchett, and they're so funny. There's one that there was a very poignant moment that I was crying, and then literally the next paragraph I was laughing. My body was very confused, but it was great.
Can I ask you a question, Steve? Is there anyone you think of as Terry Pratchett's heir apparent?
Ooh, I mean, me is the first thing that comes to mind. Obviously, just I'm trying to think. Yeah, not off the top of my head. I don't know. Some of Neil Gaiman's stuff, because they worked together. And so there's overlap there. I definitely won't say heir apparent because it's a different style, but some of his stuff, when it gets into the sillier mode, gets into kind of Terry's stuff. But yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
Nice. Oh no, Ben's
Still can't hear Ben.
Ben.
Unreal.
R.I.P. Ben.
This kind of looks like a vaudeville act.
Yeah.
Now.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh man, technology's the best. I agree with everything I said there, by the way. In case you didn't know. And what I was saying is it's confounding how many times they've tried to adapt that, and they're all just terrible.
Just garbage.
And it's just really sad.
When they adapt it, I watched the recent
I actually thought the Night Watch was the way to actually do it. Like that was the correct path in for the lay person, and they still messed it up. They
just took it too far. So I don't think it's a bad show if you haven't read the books. It's a great show. But if you're like read the books and you're expecting a bunch of stuff from the books, it's different. I like some of the choices they made, like a female veterinarian and stuff. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just too. And then like the movies, they're bad. I will say Going Postal is not bad. It's the 2-part miniseries. Going Postal is pretty good. But other than that, and
if
Good
anybody
Omens.
Out there has no idea what we're talking about, check him out.
Terry Pratchett. Any book.
What's going on? Discworld series.
Yeah, the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett, phenomenal. There's like 41 novels. It's fucking brilliant. I will say Good Omens, written by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. The miniseries of that is very, very good.
Yes.
I think that you could turn much of Pratchett's writing into a miniseries, and if you did it right, it would do it justice. I think they just kind of artistically missed the boat. But when you try to do it into like a film, that's where a lot of them went.
Yeah. Well, anyway, there's so much backstory. Anywho,
I can talk about him for
me too.
hours.
Me too. But I think you and I would probably be the only people super interested in that. Maybe not.
Some white men get together to talk about Bukowski. Not us.
Not us. No. We still haven't even said hi to Britt yet. We got off on it. No, please. That's what we're here for, tangents. But Britt, welcome to the show.
I love it.
Tell the people who you are, what you got going on.
My name is Britt. I have so much suntan just from the past 2 days. I've been on a beach bender. It has been out of control.
Very cool.
I have used so much water in the past 2 weeks. I'm not saying this is a big flex, but I'm also saying this is a giant flex.
My favorite part, Britt, was when you're like, I need to go to a beach. And I'm like, do you want to stop by my pond? And you're like, no, it has to be the ocean.
Because I had it I've been going to the pond and stuff. I've been going to the pond and stuff. And I went to the lake. I went to a lake house last week and away for a weekend. And I was like, I need to go to the beach. The water is calling me. I literally was just like the sea. It was you know how Elsa and Frozen 2. So this is my tangent, bitches. Frozen 2, which I have not yet seen.
You're going on a tangent about something you haven't seen. That's a bold move. I like it.
Based on what trailers putting stuff together, maybe reading a couple of BuzzFeed memes. But basically what I've gathered is that Elsa is cool being queen, and then Anna's cool with Kristoff, which by the way is voiced by Jonathan Goff, is whatever.
No, Jonathan Goff's isn't Jonathan Goff isn't he Olaf? No. Olaf is Josh Gad.
There's a lot of Broadway in this, and Kristen Bell is off Broadway with Reefer Madness. But anyway, I digress.
It's pronounced Broadway.
Broadway. Broadway. Okay. So Elsa is called to the woods, and it's fall going into winter, but real winter, not Elsa made winter. So not her grief and anger, frustration, anxiety, transcribed into weather, but she's being called to something, and it was this tribe of people that were there before. So I feel there's a lot of undertones of colonialization. I said that completely wrong, but I feel that is a tone that I'm ooh, that's exciting. I dark undertones for Disney sequels, aka Toy Story 2. Spoiler alert, they accepted death. Never forget that, and never forget that. But basically that's my That's what's going on with me.
Are you doing Quarantine Action Wrestling this week?
I'm in a match next week, but I will definitely be part of it. So just like tune in this Thursday.
Yeah, we're back. Quarantine Action Wrestling is back on Thursday.
Like we thought, what? And now it's back, and you're like, whoa.
Can we call the final season? Are we allowed to, or like is that?
I mean,
I don't want to spoil say anything that I'm not supposed to say. My manager, my uterus, which is a character in QAW, just so you know.
True story.
Lip sprayed. That was the strangest statement I think I've ever said in comedy. Cool. So yeah, check it out.
Nice.
I like the idea that the thing pushing the Delta variant numbers up is because Quarantine Action Wrestling secretly is renewed for another season, and like that's the same cabal that's controlling both things.
What? QAW is part of the balance of the universe. Good to know.
There's a Q drop today. It was all about Quarantine Action Wrestling.
Quarantine starts with a Q. I mean, it's not.
Do the math. I mean, do the math. That's all I'm saying. Do your own research. Do your own research.
Did you bake that yourself, Britt?
Yeah, I did bake it. Homemade. So
pay no attention to this Milano.
Pay no attention to my farmhouse. Pepperidge Farm, remembers?
These are homemade. Sorry, house-made.
What?
You're putting the Milanos up to point out how much better your cookie is than the Milano.
Yeah, right.
Comparison.
No, those are Pepperidge Farm. I just call all Pepperidge Farms Milanos. It's just like the way that some people call all soda Coke.
But guys, everyone here, I'm going to tell you some straight secrets right now. So, Thin and Crispy milk chocolate chip. This is honestly straight bomb. I have no affiliation with whatsoever.
Not a sponsor. Pepperidge Farm is not a sponsor.
Don't you dare at me, Pepperidge Farm. I love you, but we can't be together. Like Nabisco will be on my ass.
Because Britt is hired by Nabisco. She is
a
person.
Nabisco is gonna kill me for saying this.
Nabisco can at me.
But the heart wants what it wants. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Nabisco, when you're at the beach and you want a cookie that also tastes like sand.
Oh no.
That actually is
Shots
very
fired.
Did I go too dark there?
No, I liked it. I was just thinking.
I loved it.
I was trying to figure out what cookie from Nabisco tastes like sand.
Like the chocolate chip cookies are just like really bad, right? The Chips Ahoy.
Like Chips Ahoy. Yeah, I'm not a Chips Ahoy fan. I did like chewy Chips Ahoy when I was growing up, and you can put those in the microwave for like 5 seconds, and they're real good.
Very cool.
It's so important right now.
Wow.
That was so good.
I never thought about putting a cookie in a microwave. I'm like, it's ready to eat.
Wow, Tron 53 just kind of blew my mind. Nabisco is short for the National Biscuit Company. That's what Nabisco stands for.
It's actually for cool. I think it's actually for the Nationalist Biscuit Company.
No. That's when I found out that like Haribo, I had always assumed Haribo was a Japanese company because it sounds like a Japanese word, but it's actually like a German company, and it's just like the same thing. It's just a few different very German words smushed together.
It's like H period, and then like Haribo is a acronym for like just the type of company it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like 90% of companies in Germany end in Haribo. That's right.
Like
with
a yeah, the rolled R, the German rolled R is really a rare. A lot of people don't talk about the German rolled R.
One of my
the Reichstag.
One of my Spanish, like that rolled R, I could do it really well. Like not really well, but like I can do it. Like I can go aburrito. Like that was awful, but to be honest, one of my Spanish professors in college told me I would never graduate.
Well, there you go. The German art. The German's supposed to be from the back of the throat, like Haribo. Haribo. Get you the chopper with your Haribo cookie bears.
You sound like Arnold, yeah. Horrible.
Oh, nice.
Peppy porridge farm.
I love but like I had another Spanish professor who was super awesome and chill, and she knew I was really bad at Spanish, but she still passed me because she liked me. And we all had to make a PowerPoint. Like we had to make like a PowerPoint or some sort of presentation in Spanish. We could choose like culture, food, places. Like
Is that the video that you made, Britt? The one with
the video.
If you have that, well, we could watch that.
I'll try to
so
find
good.
it. I might go quiet for like 2 seconds, but it's me just trying to find.
Because this video, I have seen it, and it is worth watching. It's very, very funny. It's funny. Did anybody else take? I took French in high school, and I was fine until we had to start reading stuff. So like I was fine, like intro to French, I was fine, and then like even intermediate French, and then I got to advanced French, and they gave me The Man in the Iron Mask, but in French, like, and I was like, I can't read this. I was like, this is in another language, and they're like, you've been learning that language the whole time, and I'm like, but I've been speaking it. My brain just could not handle, couldn't do it. Yeah,
you're funny.
And they were like, just go through with a dictionary and just every time you don't know something. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. That takes forever.
That's funny because to me, I don't speak French, but I speak and read Portuguese. So I feel like, but I've seen French written. Mm-hmm. And like that's clearly to me much easier to figure out because I've heard French spoken and it's insane and it looks nothing like it sounds. So to me you've got it backwards, but I mean I get it. I studied German in high school and I was like worthless until I then learned Portuguese later living in Brazil, and I was like, oh, that's what tenses means. And I figured out how like stuff works. I was like, oh, and then I was able to like plug in my German learnings to that. But yeah,
because they're all Germanic, right?
It work in a similar way. Yeah.
My interpretation is I always hear that like English is one of the hardest languages to learn. So I always just assume that people who learn English first are just fucked. Because it takes up our entire brain just to function.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Speaking this one language all the time, because people are just like, why is it spelled this way? Why is enough? Like, there's no rules
yeah.
that would lead you to know how to spell the word enough.
Enough, yeah.
And then you're just like, well, there are no rules. You just have to remember everything by rote. And I'm just like, wow, what a huge burden we've put on the rest of society, the international society. It really shouldn't have been like this. We should have really binned English when we had better languages, but I don't know why it happened this way.
Yeah. Well, I also feel like, and maybe other languages have this, but I feel like English is one of the few languages that has like one word that has like 6 different spellings and 6 different meanings, but it all sounds the exact same, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like context.
Oh boy.
Did you find it, Britt?
I found it.
All right. Share your screen, Britt, and I will pull it up.
I have to. Okay, everybody, remember the 2000s was a time, late 2000s. We all just had a vibe and energy, thinking we were funny, and we were theater kids in school, and we thought we were really funny. So this is a video I'm going to show you. This is the project I made. She said, make a PowerPoint and do a presentation. I said, I made a video. And
what year was this, Britt? What? No, like, were you a freshman, a sophomore?
I was I was a junior because this was actually the day. I'm still in stage makeup. I just did Fools, which Emily Lavadier, who also is a 2MB cast member in QAW, one of my best friend from college. That's how I know her. She did the show with me. So my sister filmed this. Okay. Anyway,
was this before or after your teacher got arrested for the relationship they were trying to groom you for? You said one teacher just let you go, even though you could not do Spanish. So
yeah. So, anyways, I'm just trying to share my screen, guys. I'm sorry, I don't know how to. All right, here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is. Do you see it?
I do. All right, here we go, everybody. This is Britt's Spanish project.
Not happy.
Did you also share your sound, Britt?
Me gusta el pollo. Me gusta. Could you hear it?
Yep, we sure can.
Also, look at my bangs, babe. This is what I thought fashion was.
Those bangs are the best.
Del segundo piso. No me gusta la cafetería del primo piso. No me gusta. Me gusta. Me gusta. No me gusta. Oh, no me gusta los huevos. Vomitar. Me encanta la mantequilla. Me gusta. Me gusta. No me gusta. Me gusta. Me gusta el cereal de Cheerios. No me gusta el plantano. Me gusta el café.
That sweatshirt.
La Colombia. Me encanta el helado. Me gusta la leche y la crema. No me gusta. Me gusta la piña. Nom 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 nom. No me gusta el Pepsi. Me gusta el Canada Dry. Me gusta el J Pension. Oh, no me gusta el J Pension. La person. No me gusta el Pez. Me gusta.
It's almost there.
Okay. Me gusta. Holy guacamole. Muy grande. No me gusta muy grande hot pockets. No me gusta el calabaza. Ew. Me gusta las papas fritas. Muy delicioso. Me encanta las postres. Me encanta. Me encanta el vino tinto.
What's that?
That's the video. That's my life, guys.
You know, I hope I can see why you passed. I mean, that is inspiring.
Oh, she gave me an A for the project, even though I did not pick something appropriate, but I also got almost every word wrong. She's like, "Oh, I got a D for the semester." Like, I got a D. She's like, "Britt, I wanted to fail you, but I can't because I want to see you succeed, and also, like, you're such an amazing person." And like, I'll never forget her. So I remember my graduation. I find the guy that told me I wouldn't graduate, and he goes, "Oh, you're here." And I go, "Yeah, I'm here. And I did great. Bye." And I just walked away.
Nice.
And then I saw the lady, and like, basically he was like right there, and I turned to her, I see her, and I'm like, "Oh my God." She's like, "Oh my God, Brittany, I love you." Like, giggling, laughing, hugging me. We took a picture, like, right in front of him. Like, it was so just triumph, like, the moment, you know?
Do you still have that sweatshirt? Steven and I both want to know.
I sure do. I sure do.
That was dope. That, and when you look at the Dunkin' Donuts, you're like, La Colombia. Like, as if the average Dunks consumer is like, "Ooh, these beans."
Also, did we discuss how much time has passed? Because if you notice, the Christmas trees, Little Debbie's box is like a vintage old, like, that's like watching a video when you're a kid, and it's like you see like the old like milk bottle or something. Oh, thanks. Oh my God. I'm like so embarrassed because that's
don't be. That was amazing. That was amazing. I really love just taking stuff out. Me gusta, no me gusta. What did you throw across the room violently and then run it? What was that?
I think it was like an onion or something. So this was like right before Christmas break because it was Christmas time, as we can all tell by the video. And like the fact I'm still wearing my stage makeup, my eyebrows are so damn dark. I like seriously just like I like looking back, I'm like, wow, like a lot you can tell like what's Brit's core humor. It's this video, I guess, is
Right, I had a question.
Yes.
I got the part where you liked and disliked foods. What was going on with that guy? You had like a guy in the video briefly. What were you
Oh,
saying?
so that kid, he's not a kid anymore. He's an adult. His name's Jay Pension. I'm going to say Hardstop, one of the most talented, brilliant people I've known. I did theater camp with him in like middle school once or twice. Like we go way back, and we ended up in college at the same college at Salem State together. And we were like, oh my God, I remember you. It was like a really awesome, awkward reunion. And like, we're all like, our relationship is we're so awesome and awkward with each other. I don't know if he still does this, but he's like a professional, like he does something or owns theaters or something in like Kentucky. Like he's big in the theater business. Like he's done like some of the most genius comedy work I've seen. Like I could talk about him all day because he's awesome. But yeah, his name's Jay Pension. He's out there in the world. Shout out to all the Jay Pensions out there. There's only one.
Were you saying I like Jay Pension, and then you took a bite of him and then you said I don't like him? Or
Because he's a person.
Got
So
you.
I was like, Jay Pension. I was like, ooh, me gusta la Jay Pension. I took a bite. And then I was like, no, I don't like him because he's a person. I realized he's a person because he looks like a delicious treat.
Gotcha.
Listen, it was like late 2000s. Brit, you think in college you have your voice and you tone it. Oh no. Brit, that was like when I thought like the classiest like form of comedy was Happy Gilmore, which it is. I still see that.
There's no reason to qualify that video with anything. I think that was brilliant, very funny, and I enjoyed watching it. Thank you so much for sharing
thank
that.
you, appreciate it.
I loved it, and I loved the idea that you went through. You do what I do sometimes, and please don't take this the wrong way, which is like you're like, I don't actually know what you're asking for, so I'm just going to go overboard in the presentation of it, right? And then it's going to hopefully gloss over the fact that the information is a little suspect.
Yeah, I guess the main source of it is like there's like the main part of it is like I used a lot of my non-theater classes as my ways to be like the funniest person, like the person that would like actually speak out, and like it was like being class clown was like a way I like communicated with like my classmates. Like I communicated with them through humor. So like what I did was make funny videos and like do funny, like just be silly. Sometimes I was very obnoxious, actually all the time. I was extremely obnoxious, and it was college. So now looking back in hindsight, I'm like, and as a teacher, I'm like, oh my God, my professors must have hated me. But they actually, they knew I was like cool, and I wasn't like there to annoy them. I was just, it's fun.
The fact that you're paying attention or like involved in some way, I'm sure.
Yeah.
At least that's what I like to tell myself because I'm a similar.
Yeah,
I do the same thing, but like at work. Like I'm the funny guy at a law firm, which is not hard.
Now, but like, is that Stephen? That I feel like could be both a blessing and a curse. Like, are you the guy they turn to when they're like, "We need the funny thing"?
100%.
Oh, no.
I like it. It's fine. I honestly like. I'd much rather do that than.
Yeah,
but it is funny how low the bar is. Like a real easy pun will present itself in like a meeting or whatever. It'll be like, all right, and because they're law dorks, they're like, like I don't get judged like you're at home. But I'm also like, this was such low hanging fruit. I can't think of an example, but like I'm like, how are we not all thinking of this? Like, are you all paying attention to the substance of what's happening? You're not just listening for silly words, which I don't understand.
Could you do me a huge favor and could you make that laugh again just one more time? That laugh you did.
Me?
Yeah, like the laugh that when you were laughing as them, and I
don't even know what I did.
Yeah, it was very Wallace Shaw in Princess Bride.
I don't know.
How low the bar is a pun. There you go. They didn't pass that bar exam.
Incredibly low, yeah.
Boof Wellington is one of our best punsters on the channel as host of 69 Minutes.
Nice.
He knows all too well about innuendo and puns. I love it. So that was a great video. It leads me to the thing that I was going to share, which is also a little video And I did not make it. I watched it and I thought to myself, this is fantastic because it's so dumb, and yet somebody really spent time trying to master it. And I think I've said enough. I'm just gonna share the screen, and you'll all see how wonderful this is. So this is a story we're gonna watch. It's about 2 minutes long, and it's about a man who has set the world's record for longest table tennis serve.
What?
Here we go.
So excited. I love this color green.
Can you hear it?
No.
Nope. Okay, hold on.
Pleasantville?
Hold on. Let's do this again.
Like the movie.
Yeah, why is it? So the video's in color, so we know that dude fucks.
All right, let's try this again.
I wonder if it's just his serve that's the longest.
Nope. I can't hear her.
It's not always cooking.
Yep,
Sometimes
yep.
it's just like looking at art for the first
table
time.
tennis player Eric
I can hear it now.
has set a new Guinness World Record, the longest table tennis serve.
The ball from behind that service line, and it has to be a legal serve. That means the first bounce is going to be on this side, the second bounce will be on this side.
He cannot cross that blue line of tape, and the ball cannot bounce on the floor before it hits the table. The previous winner set the record at 14.86 meters. Finkelstein broke that record at 15.57 meters.
My initial
I feel like
falling well short. And
Wait, hold on.
Different technique. So I'm actually using a very different
Hold
technique
on.
than the current world record.
Yes, please.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like I could just do this, like, just by trying that for hours, just like those videos on TikTok of people throwing cards. Just try it for an hour, and like, you know, look, got 100 feet, like I got it, like, because it happened to hit twice. I feel like it should be in a match, but that's fine.
I agree, but he did have to. You'll see, he couldn't do it by himself.
Record holder.
But despite this being a one-man competition, it actually took a team of people to make this official, as required by Guinness. Finkelstein hired a certified umpire, a videographer, and a witness.
And then you need someone who has experience in architecture or construction to validate the distance.
Enter Wayne Howard and his brother Roy, local contractors from Yorktown, for the event.
Imagine being the contractor in this call.
To measure the distance.
We're gonna need you to come and be the official measure for the
that
longest.
man, like, the man is wonderful, but he's a great person, but he looks like a literal thumb.
He does. He's like the service line was approximately 17 neck widths away from the table. I'm sure he does a great job, but he does look like that is a thumb with eyes.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He's I bet he's a wonderful person. But he
almost done here.
Of the serve. This is a first. We've never done anything like this. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
excited
bet.
about it.
There's quite
Wouldn't it be funny if they were like, "Oh, we do this all the time"?
This guy has us back here every week.
Send it over to Guinness, but then he will finally be the record holder. And we might just see him again in the near future, as he says he's looking to beat another table tennis record now that he has this one under his belt. In Pleasantville, Emily Young, News 12.
What?
That's awesome.
Here's what I loved about this story. I love that he chose to do it during the Olympics. That was my favorite thing, right?
These Olympians are getting too much credit.
Yeah, I gotta try this. I'm coming out of retirement. He hit it 15.1 meters, which is a 49.5-foot serve, which I love things that take a really long time that are completely fucking useless.
Yeah,
right. Like in a match, that serve would have been just immediately
just
returned.
crushed, just immediately. Yeah,
I mean, useless. But he's in the Guinness Book of World Record.
Yeah.
It makes me want to do a 50-foot one. I think I could do it.
Do you want to have a new show that's just you trying and probably failing to beat that record? Ben, but we can make it a whole thing.
I feel like every week I could pick a different terrible record to try to solve. Like we'd have to hire all the people every week. That'd be expensive, probably.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. But we wouldn't have to hire the witnesses because it would be live on the channel. Everybody could watch.
There you go. So funny.
So I loved that because I loved that he took it so seriously, that he hired all these people, and that he was so excited about it over something useless. And that to me, Britt, I think it had your video is much funnier, but it's the idea of like I took a lot of time to learn this pretty useless thing, and it makes me laugh. I really like that.
I love that. No, I was like just thinking like you can hire staff for the most insane things.
Yeah, if you got money.
It's amazing. Like okay, like if can we do like a fun question thing where you all have to answer it? Okay. Sure. So if you wanted a like staff, meaning like someone to do a thing that you're known for, like for example, I would love someone to be like my like button collector handler. Or someone to make me nachos all the time. Who would like maybe like 2 to 3 staff members you hire for very specific things?
So it can't be like chef. It has to be like person who makes this.
It's gotta be like specific. Yeah, like you know, like in like Pop Star is a great example. Like best movie ever, top 10 ever.
Great movie.
So good.
He has like ridiculous staff members, like the people that clap for him, or like. Someone to wrangle his turtle, like really random things, like Rachel. I definitely think you would have like a team for Prince. Like Prince would have his own team.
Yeah, I mean, I like taking care of my dog. I feel like I would get people to do everything non-dog related in my life, so I could just really focus on the thing that I enjoy. I'm like, can you like, I don't know, organize the rest of my life, please? Could you apply to jobs, and then also when I get those jobs, can you do those jobs? I'm just really vibing with my dog over here, and
that's amazing.
Like I don't want to ruin the vibe.
I think I'd want somebody who could make a perfect milkshake, like a perfect milkshake whenever I wanted one.
Then you should join the Marines in 2009 and be stationed at Camp Ramadi, because there was a guy at that chow hall. His entire job was to make milkshakes.
Really?
Wow.
I love that somebody joined the Marines.
This was like a Pakistani contractor or something like that, so it was even better. But yeah, any food establishment run by the military in Iraq
was all
had lots of stuff like that. Shaved kiwis, but there was a guy making milkshakes. That was his only job.
Wait,
shaved kiwis?
Yeah, shaved kiwis?
Shaved kiwis, yeah.
Like someone just like, serve?
Listen, I ought to make the fucking rules. I just eat the food that Dick Cheney put in front of me, all right? I don't know to tell you. I spent most of my time on a small base, so we had shit for food. But when we got to that place, we were like, wait a minute, these kiwis don't have fur.
I don't want our soldiers eating hairy balls. They look like balls, man.
Right. And it's not like they were like peeled or whatever, or like cut up. They just like it's so pointless.
That cost the U.S. government just thousands of dollars to shave those things.
Yeah.
Guys, every time you see the U.S. military get its budget increase, it's to shave more kiwis.
Shave more kiwis. Our boys aren't going to be that white. Like, why do you think that's what happened? They cut the budget and they stopped shaving kiwis in Afghanistan, and now we got to cut and run.
That's it.
After we were almost going to win, we were almost able to impose our rule on them permanently, but now we got to cut and run.
You just see George W. shooting a kiwi behind the flag, and he's like, mission accomplished. Now he's painting shitty paintings, and I want one.
In Guantanamo Bay, they're like, look, we can't waterboard you anymore, but here's lunch, and it's unshaved kiwis, and there's just riots.
Wow. That's...
Now that I'm like remembering all of like those major moments leading up to and in the aftermath of the Iraq War, I do remember that they all involve someone shaving a kiwi nearby something important happening.
Do the math.
Like when Colin Powell went to Congress, he was shaving a kiwi while he was talking about the yellow cake.
So
the yellow cake kiwis.
2 things about this. I'm looking it up, and shaving the kiwi does nothing other than make it for a stunning presentation. Like, there's no reason to shave the kiwi other than presentation, which is bonkers to me. Also, and apparently a lot of people around the world do this too, and I knew this, but people eat the whole kiwi. They don't, the entire kiwi is edible, and you get 3 times, no shit, you get 3 times as much fiber if you don't shave the kiwi, or if you don't peel the kiwi.
Don't peel the kiwi.
Unreal. I think that sounds disgusting to me.
I always eat the skin. Am I not supposed to?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you are supposed to apparently, but I've never eat the skin.
Well, you're just a skin freak, though.
No, I
kiwis, oranges, people's faces.
It is true. I have a plate of skin right next to me.
I am a fan of kiwis. I have eaten kiwis before. I mean, like,
I definitely know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking
It
about.
feels like you haven't eaten kiwis. That's
have you guys ever?
Hello, fellow kiwi enthusiasts.
Does anyone else eat a grape like this? This is how I eat grapes. I peel off the skin and eat the skin, and then eat the grape. Like the grape, it feels like the eyeballs, like you would make in like a.
Yeah. Do you ever peel? I was gonna say, if you peel grapes and you put them in a bowl together, and then people reach into the bowl, and that's the bowl of eyeballs. That's like a
Halloween
thing.
coming up. So
For those who don't know, Britt is a master Halloween costumer. A couple years ago, she went as the CVS receipt, and it was super long, which is very cool. She's also gone as the Hilltop Steakhouse sign.
That
was my one.
They do sloppy steaks there.
They don't pour the water all over them. It's a high class place. They don't allow sloppy steaks.
Oh no! You have literally some old, like 70-year-old smoker yelling like "For Carson City," and you just be like sitting there with your family, being like, "Okay, let's go," and you get like, the shitty bread and the shitty broccoli sides. But oh my God, you're eating like in John Wayne's backyard. You feel good. My banquets were there. My dad, I think they had my dad's hockey team. He still coaches them in my hometown. I'm not going to reveal my hometown because it's so my dad would
somewhere in Massachusetts.
Somewhere in Massachusetts that had a Hilltop Steakhouse.
It's somewhere on Route 1, but Route 1 is long. I mean,
yeah, it's long. It's literally the town is split in half by this friggin' highway.
It's
but anyway,
really the Autobahn of Western Massachusetts.
Oh God, remember Ames?
I love that. Yes, what a transition. Back to grapes really quickly. Has anybody eaten cotton candy grapes? Does anybody know about these? These grapes that they have bred to taste like cotton candy. And you're like, bullshit. And then you taste them and they taste exactly like cotton candy.
Here we go.
Terrifying.
Here we go.
It is terrifying, Steve, because you're like, why not just eat cotton candy or grapes? Like, we have had to trick kids into eating grapes by making them taste like cotton candy.
Which sucks because
kids already liked grapes.
They already like grapes. I was gonna say, like, they love. Yeah. Oh man, that's nuts.
We have to make grapes sweeter.
And now, for me, I just imagining all the foods that could taste like cotton candy that they're holding out on us. If you're like, you can do it to grapes, why not do it to fucking steaks? I don't know. Who has an idea?
I have another secret.
All right.
Have you ever heard? And everyone's heard of this. Have you ever heard of a miracle berry?
Yeah.
No. You can put a little pill. It's just a sugar pill. It's not harmful. It's just like a fruit or whatever shit. I don't know. Put it on your tongue.
Freeze-dried fruit from the Amazon that they crush up and turn into a pill.
And it goes to your tongue for like 2 hours. And everything you eat tastes like sugary, sweet, delicious. So like me and my friends in college, we were so classy. Like, again, theater kids in college, you can tell by the video, we would have miracle berry parties.
Yeah. And so like you literally can take a bite of a lemon and it tastes like an orange. It's very sweet. You can put vinegar on your tongue and it tastes like caramel. It fucks with your flavor receptors and it makes everything sour, sweet. It's really cool. It's really cool.
I'm usually not one to immediately jump to this is an abomination in the eyes of the Lord, but I'm pretty sure foods taste that way for a reason, and God doesn't want us.
A lemon's supposed to taste like a lemon.
Yeah. Next thing, these sweet lemons are gonna be going to the bathroom in my bathroom, and like,
Where does it stop?
where does it stop?
there.
Am I hearing you right when you're saying the miracle berry was created by Satan?
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
To lead us astray.
To lead us astray. Look, it's the same playbook, right? Like there's fruits, they can lead you a good way, or they can lead you a bad way.
Britt, you were gonna say something.
I was just. Are we sexualizing fruit now?
Fruit's always been sexualized.
That's
I feel like melons.
Fruit of the Looms. Fruit of the Looms are underwear where your junk goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just send you this eggplant emoji to see what you think.
Fruit is so sexy.
What's the sexiest fruit, do you think, everybody?
Watermelon.
Watermelon, interesting.
This is so wet.
It is very juicy. It's very juicy.
That peach ass.
Yeah, I think that peach.
Peaches are right there.
If you swear on whatever you swear on, or you have to swear on whatever, that you were turned on at least once by a peach emoji, because damn, you bounce a quarter off that ass, you get 50 cents back. Like,
yeah, it's definitely just the peach emoji.
Yeah, well, a peach.
Not peaches at all.
Well,
not a shaved peach though. You need a little bit of fur there.
Shaming me? No, peaches are definitely super sexy, and they're
my peach.
wet.
Peaches can get it.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to go out of your way to shave a peach, you might as well just go for a nectarine at that point.
There you
I
go.
feel like the fuzz is a major peach.
Okay, we're not libertarians here. We don't need your like nectarine. Even sounds like a sex thing. That's like, ooh, that person's a nectarine. Like they like those kind of delights.
I do also like
shaved.
We're talking about all the different fruits, and I do like when they get the stone fruits, they just say fuck it and mix it. Like there's pluots, which is just like it's like a plum and an apricot. They're like, put them together. Oh, look at that. That's delicious. They've got all sorts of shit like that.
They didn't ask whether.
I'm hearing that the stone fruits are the sluts of the fruits.
Stone fruits will mix it up with anybody. They don't care.
Stone fruits like to smash.
All right, if you were fruit but also a like high school clique, what would you be?
What?
So
I feel like this has a very specific single answer.
Apple is the jock, because the apple is like the most popular fruit and like the most popular student, and the drama kids are definitely the grapes because they're an ensemble. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Then like the mean girls, I feel like are like maybe cherries. Like
yes.
cherries.
Oh my god, that's very interesting. You know.
I was I don't know. I was a lot of stuff, but I feel like I'd say I'm a nerd, and so I'm a carrot. Like,
oh my god!
Just a vegetable instead of a fruit.
Love that.
I would say I was a tomato because everyone is like, get out, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be here.
Perfect.
The custodian is just like a giant like stick of celery, and he's just like,
King Senior says yellow bananas. But for what? Because I like yellow bananas too. I was thinking about that.
He wants us to see what bananas would be. I think bananas would be jocks, definitely. Like, are like at least like like Beavis and Butthead, like the horny teens.
Wait, are Beavis and Butthead the horny? I mean, yeah. They are horny. But I've never categorized them. I'm not denying that they are, in fact, very horny because they do.
People?
They watch the videos and they like the butts and they like all that stuff.
Well, have you ever seen
whacking all the time in the camper? Sure.
Have you ever seen on the teen movie? Again, top 10 film, very dated, but top 10 film. There is like the three nerds are like 15-year-old boys, and all they care about are TNA. Like getting laid, like super bad, like the early 2000s.
No, totally. I always thought Beavis and Butthead were like more like stoner metal kids for some reason.
Yeah,
proto goths.
Yeah, almost, or like kids who'd be super into corn, right?
Like very
I feel like
kids,
like potheads.
I feel like other than like the segment of the population that is like truly asexual, saying like horny teens is like unnecessary. It's like teens are just that. Like you should just say, like you could just say like horny people, and the people be like, "Oh, you mean teenagers?" I feel like they got those hormones.
Every teen is horny.
Yeah.
If American Pie has taught me anything, the Giant Geeks are the horniest. Allison Hannigan.
Now I'm thinking about going back to school this year in September. End August. And
because of those
because the kids are so horny. Those are young kids. They're too young. No.
Just like their hormones can be crazy with puberty, and they're just like so angry.
So extra.
At the end of summer, kids like a lot of people like, oh, kids love the first day of school. I met a good majority of children are miserable to be back. They do not want to be where they're sitting. But
it must be.
Like, I just want to be masturbating, and they just start.
It must be pretty fun. I've never thought of it right now, but like, it must be pretty cool to be a high school teacher and just watch, like, high school kids try to just spit terrible game at each other, right? Like, just to watch the dance that they do, and you're just like, oh man.
Oh, witnessing, like, just like I have 6 nieces and nephews, and they're all like around the same age. So like, but like they're basically all like a year apart. Like the oldest is 8, the youngest is like 1, about to be 1, and like I was just seeing them going through like this like childhood things that like I went through and stages I went through. I'm just like woof, and like being in my family, it's a whole nother level of wow. So you got your wow and your woof, and it's just ooh, you're just like ooh, and like you gotta live through it.
You got your wow and your woo, and you're just like woo,
woo.
I love it. I love it. We've seen 2 amazing videos so far. I don't know if we have any more videos, but Rachel, do you or Steven have either a video? Rachel, you look like you do have a video.
Yeah, I was just I was inspired by the language conversation you were having earlier. So I found my favorite French video. I'll share the screen. You may have seen this before, but it's something that I personally enjoy a lot. Share audio. Just a second.
And this is a French video. So we've already seen a video in Spanish. Now we're watching a video in French. We are fancy fucking people, folks.
We're very fancy.
Oh, enchanté, señorita, to you.
Blood, sang, without, sang, 100, sang, smells, sang, without 100 smells of blood.
I love those videos so much. I've seen so many of those. I watched.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh.
You know, 100 smells of blood. So. The classic thing you have to say.
That's amazing. Oh man.
I like that. Now that we've watched that video, Rachel, do you or Steven, do you have any stories inspired by what we've seen? Perhaps by the idea of putting way too much time into something that you knew was real dumb, or getting accolades for something that you think you can't believe you're getting accolades for. Anything like that, or anything that you have on your own mind.
Yeah, accolades always make me think of like superlatives, and how like superlatives in high school always gave me a panic attack, because they had like some of the superlatives were very. First of all, it's very weird for people who are at all self-conscious to be voting on each other like that at all. And then some of the superlatives were like biggest know-it-all, and I became convinced at a certain point that was what I would be getting. And then I was just so upset for imagining that I would get the biggest know-it-all.
And then were you upset when you didn't get it?
No, I was deeply relieved. I was.
Okay.
I got most intelligent, which again, very weird, like a weird thing, because looking back I'm like, we shouldn't be voting, like we shouldn't let kids vote on each other, like who's the smartest one of you. I'm like, I don't know, it feels like too much.
They
But
should
I
do
was-
like first to die. They should do like really dark superlatives in high school, right? Like most likely to eat a person, right?
most likely to try heroin.
Yeah. Most likely you're gonna see them on Pornhub.
Most likely to become a doctor's assistant.
Most likely to get fucked to death.
Yikes.
That's where we're going. That's where we're going.
He's like,
Timothy Fredrickson.
most likely.
Most likely to have
Guy
a
loves rough sex. What can I say? Guy loves it. One day it's gonna catch up with him. It's just gonna bite him.
That guy is into choking, obviously. Or that just guy looks like he's going to have a heart attack, having very consensual, normal sex when he's like 80. Either way.
Most likely to get fleeced by a reverse mortgage scheme. Most likely
to wear a wire.
Yes. Most likely to be the one guy in an insurrection plot that's not working for the FBI.
Oh my god.
He's like the only one.
The only one, or they're all, yeah.
When I was in college, I went to a really small college, and our professors had because of that, we knew our professors pretty well, and a couple of them would like have office hours at bars, and like they were very open with stuff. But there were a couple who wouldn't hang out with you at all until when you're a senior, 3 weeks before you graduate, there's like a huge dinner that you have, and all the teachers throw the dinner for the graduating seniors, and they give out superlatives that the teachers have written about you. So
very cool.
It's cool. It's also real fucking weird to watch people just get roasted by people who they have respected and continue to respect for the last couple of years, right? And I was dating this girl in college, and her name was Brooke, and there was another Brooke in college in our class who liked to sleep around. That was pretty well known in our class, but nobody really mentioned it. It wasn't like whatever. It was like a thing. And then
it's called feminism, Ben.
This is what's so weird. She got completely slut shamed. Basically, my superlative was slut shaming her, and it was so fucking weird because I got the two brooks converged in a row in the woods, and I chose the brook less traveled by award. That was the award that the teachers of this college gave me. And I was like, this is fucking weird. Like, even at the time, right? I was like, this isn't even about me. They chose my superlative to roast this other person who is not a great person, but she didn't deserve that. And I wish me now, right? Knew then, like, because like I would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because that had to not be okay for at least a couple other people.
That might be one of the most. That might be one of the least okay things I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, but it's also a great literary roasting.
Like, very good roast.
It's
a very good roast of your friend, of someone that you're close to,
not from your teachers who have been watching you for the last like few years, and that apparently is what they've taken away.
Yeah, my feeling is like not every sociopath is intelligent, but I'm like, oh, this is written by one of those intelligent sociopaths.
Yep.
A real Hannibal type wrote this one.
Yeah. Oh man, that's all I can think of when you said superlatives. That's all.
When we went to law school, we were graduating. It was a smaller law. It was the University of Utah. It was not a big law school. There was like 120 people graduating, and they had me host the graduation dinner, which included superlatives. And I'd done superlatives like as a gag at previous ones, but I always did it on the walls of our old school. There was like the like a framed class picture of everybody from previous classes, and we'd go up to the pictures of people from the 70s and 80s and make fun of their outfits and stuff. And anyway, but they had me do that, but for our class on graduation night, and our class was small enough that I was able to do roasts for basically everyone, even if like they're like someone was nominated but didn't win, like just the way I described it. So everyone was mentioned and or roasted, but like one of the roasts just tangentially referred to the fact that one of our classmates was among many of the women that slept with our professor, who like ended up getting fired or asked to leave and agreed because he just kept on fucking students. Anyway, but like it wasn't overt enough that like unless you knew exactly what had happened, but it was enough that the room was like and like it was like a whole thing after the fact. But anyway,
Oh, you mentioned.
I was very pleased. I was very pleased with it.
Roasts are so fucking weird. I know it's not quite the same thing, but it sort of is. And I can just tell you right now, I do not have a strong enough psyche to be able to sit there and have my friends rip me for like 2 hours. Like I know it's in good fun. I know you only roast the ones you love, but like I think genuinely, I probably would just start crying and I'd be like, no, it's fine, right? But I just think like my initial reaction, I'm not a person who enjoys that. I feel like I could write some good roast jokes for other people, but I don't want to be anywhere near a dais ever.
See, me and Ben are so different because I would love to get roasted, and then at the very end, you know, when you get the rebuttal, I would love to come up after being roasted and just be like, you know what, they're right, and then I would just leave.
So this year, for my birthday, it was in March, I asked people to send me roasts, and then I recorded them all of me saying their roasts, and I put it on YouTube, and there's a video. The audio's terrible. I had just got a microphone, and I was figuring out how it worked, and it was terrible. But like, there were some epic ones, like, Steve is such where was I don't know if Steve spends more time fighting trolls in Dungeons and Dragons or on Facebook. Either way, he's not leveling up. Steve is such a generous lover that he gave his wife free access to his OnlyFans account, which is true. And then I'll skip. There was a bunch. There were like pages. It's like a 17-minute video of me just like, Steven's so white. His Facebook account is his biggest platform to fight the patriarchy.
That's awesome.
See, I feel like that's cool. I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do something like that.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
My 30th birthday, my sister goes, "Do you want to roast for your 30th birthday?" And I was like, "Sure." Not thinking she planned. They rented out a like a moose lodge in fucking Malden, Massachusetts. And
very cool.
A bunch of my family and friends, and a bunch of my friends, and like my theater teacher growing up roasted me.
Awesome.
They did like a whole big roast. I got so hammered I could barely perform my roast. I refused to roast, but they roasted my family really more than me because my family's so insane. And I think my favorite joke came from like one of my childhood friends, like one of my friends from high school. And my dad, you'll get to. He's a golfer, loves to golf, and they were like, "Oh, he was like 2 strokes behind par," and they made that joke because he had a stroke like the year before. It was the best joke. Oh, like I think it was my favorite joke of the entire night because it's the one I talk about the most. And like the audience, like everyone looked to my dad. My dad just exploded with laughter, and everyone laughed. And like
that's awesome.
Just, yeah. So. That was probably my favorite. Yeah, I love roasts. Like, I love performing in them. I love watching them. It's terrible.
So fun.
It's a big Schadenfreude. Like, I totally understand why people don't like them, and I totally get how they can be, they can be a problem at times. But, like, if you really trust the people and, like, know it's a safe space.
Yeah, to me, it's like the most flattering. Like if someone's like true, like your friend, like they know enough about you to really get a good dig. And like a lot of mine were like very personalized and stuff in that way. And it's like super flattering and like a really. My favorite one, this is the last one I'll share, was, as you know, Memorial Day is for the dead veterans, right? As opposed to Veterans Day, which is for the alive veterans. So I'm an alive veteran. But the last roast I read was just the best one was Steve parents hate him because of him, they don't get to fully celebrate Memorial Day.
Oh no!
Which is, I read that, I was like in the middle of a work day and I opened it up and I read that response and I was like, oh, This is perfect.
That's
when
amazing.
they get you, when you literally
Oh.
have to, like, it's like when you get cold water splashed on your
Yeah.
butt.
Yeah, like I had to like take a break. It was so good. I had to like step away. It was
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
You know what else shows that people love you is when they just say real nice things about
that's
you.
also
So, like,
true.
I want to sit in a chair and I want people to have to come up and just
Bend
say
the knee.
super nice things about everybody. Oh, everybody on the dais. I mean, not just me.
Man, that's not a thing people do. People don't.
You there, boy. Be nice to him.
Speaking
of an opposite roast.
Speaking of early 2000s entertainment, like roasts and like just like it's so funny to like how negative like television and everything, like how negative themes were.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
always conflict heavy. Like it's so crazy.
Did you see a couple years ago? I can't remember what celebrity roast it was, but Andy Samberg came out and basically just did what I was talking about. He did the nice roast. He was just like,
Yep.
he's
It
like,
was
Britt, are
James
you
Franco.
are your legs tired because you've been carrying this show? Zing!
Yeah,
You know, like,
it's so
Roasted.
good. Andy Samberg's a genius.
That is the best roast I think that's ever been. That one is perfection. Yeah, it's so good.
yeah, because they all actually like each other. The sad ones are when like the Chevy Chase one, right? Where it's like everybody there hates Chevy Chase or doesn't
Right.
know Chevy Chase.
Right.
And they're just getting paid by Comedy Central.
Right.
You never want the roast to feel like the last episode of Seinfeld, where it's just everyone finally getting their comeuppance.
Yeah. Or like it was the Rob, what's his face one
Rob
where
Schneider?
Ann Coulter was there, and it was just the roast of Ann Coulter, who no one deserves to get roasted over an actual fire more than Ann Coulter, but it was clear that no one was there to roast.
There was a great joke that Nikki Glazer said to Ann, though, that I still remember from that, where she said, the only time you'll make a Mexican man smile is the guy who is going to dig your grave.
Yep. Yeah.
I was like,
yeah. That was an amazing joke.
Literally, she is like I'm actually after this. I'm gonna go watch that because I need that good juice. You know what I mean?
That's so good.
To get to actually roast somebody that you like hate.
Yeah, that
like,
would be the ult. Yeah. Oof.
I love Nikki Glazer's Netflix special. I like recommending it to people, but I do have to be like, this is going to be like the dirtiest thing.
It's an hour of dick jokes.
Filthy. Yeah,
it is amazing. Amazing.
I'm like, I want to recommend this to you, but before I do, I need to give you a content warning. If you think you've seen dirty shit, like this is going to be next level. You're not prepared. I'm just going to say it. You're not prepared for how long this lasts.
So funny.
That is the worst, right? When you sit there and you watch. This just made me think of it tangentially, but when you sit there and watch something that's like really dirty, either sexually or mostly sexually, but it could be language, I suppose. But with, let's say, like a parent, like you didn't know that the movie that you were all watching was going to get as sexy as it got, and all of a sudden you're just like watching almost a hardcore sex scene next to your parents, and you're like, this is fucking weird. There's a South Korean movie called The Handmaiden, which came out a couple years ago. It was a great movie. I highly recommend it. But like, yeah, Britt, right? Yes. It's so good. It's like a Herald, basically. It's like three different beats.
Go ahead. Do you want to?
No, it's also just like a softcore porn, though. At one point, it's a lesbian softcore porn.
So can I?
Please, yes, interject.
So I saw it in Kendall Square Theater. Love it. I saw it. There were like a bunch of like tour buses of like old people, like just on a trip to see this movie.
Yep.
But like they weren't like old people that would be like, oh my God, oh my stars and stripes. No, they're like those intellectual, like old bridge. So like I was like, because the movie, I will be honest and like open about a book here, but like the movie was, you know, part of a sexual awakening for me. And like I loved it and was very interested and intrigued and turned on. And I mean, mostly turned on by like just how much passion was in it. And just,
it's a great fucking movie.
Beautiful. I get you to watch it, please. But like, I'm like kind of like squirming uncomfortable in my seat a little bit because I'm just like thinking about it. I'm like, oh, all these old people, and it's gonna be weird. And I look around and they're all like this. Like about it, and they're intense about it, and they're like, yes, and they're loving it. And I was just like, oh yeah. And then I like was like, I love this.
I don't know what's worse, the fact that I had to sit next to my dad as I watched a woman slip Benoit balls inside of another woman, or the fact that my father did not question it. He was not like, what are those? He was just like, I know what that is.
Like just octopus sex, like just
yeah.
You're like, I've done this. I remember when I did this.
No, I don't want to hear that.
Me and your mother, this really reminds me of a time.
Just the idea that my dad would have a Benoit ball up his ass is actually a really funny thought to me. Like a little jingle. Like I just can't see it at all. That's something that would never happen.
Or it's something that's happened your entire life.
Or
and
apparently,
you just don't know.
Sure enough.
Wait, those jingle like in your bum, they make a jingle sound.
I think they make noise. Yeah.
So if you like just hop across the room, it's like jingle, jingle, jingle.
That's how you find a fellow enthusiast.
Or it's just like Christmas time. It's great because it's disguised because there's jingling bells everywhere at Christmas time. No one's gonna know it's coming for your bum hole. Like that's fantastic.
Do you have a jingle up your butthole, or are you just happy to see me?
There's such a weird connection I'm about to make.
Grandpa's here.
Because this is about Benoit balls, but this is, I don't know, my brain is so fucking weird. I just remember as a kid watching David Letterman, and Letterman used to do stupid human tricks, which was like people would come on the show and they'd be like, here's the dumb thing I know how to do, and then they would do it, and Letterman would be like, whatever. And this guy came on the show, and he's had 4 or 5 ping pong balls, I can't remember, and they were all numbered 1 through 5, and he swallowed them all, and then he was like, what order do you want these to come up in, Dave? And Dave was like, what? And he's like, what order, man? And Dave's like, I want 3 first. And he was like, and fucking 3 came up, and he could do it in any order that you fucking wanted.
Unreal.
He knew how to like move him around in his stomach. And I was like, that's bonkers to me. And I don't know why my brain.
So you don't think that was you don't think that was pre-scripted? You don't think that they were in on it?
It's called film editing, Ben.
Because maybe I don't want this bubble to be popped, so don't tell me if it's not real. But the awe that David Letterman was like, this is truly something. Like, usually he's like whatever and trying to make some jokes through it, and he was clearly impressed by this bit. So
That's sick.
So you're like, hey David, which Benoit ball do you want?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna bend over, and you're gonna tell me which one you want me to shoot out of my ass, and I will do that. I've got 4 up there. Just
on a weeknight.
I have 4 DVDs of The Handmaiden up my ass. Which one do you want first?
Sideways.
Full screen, widescreen, director's cut.
But like, man, if that's a movie where you like to be horny and eat popcorn at the same time, watch that movie.
So you mean being a teen?
Yeah. Teens watch movies, right?
Yeah, teens watch movies, they're horny, and they eat popcorn. That's what I know.
Do the math.
I was so impressed with myself. I walked by some teens today, and they were talking, and I knew every word. I knew every reference they were making. They said Lil Nas. I'm like, I know him. They said Jack Harlow. I'm like, I know him. They said SZA, and I'm like, I know her. And I'm like, look at me. I know what the teens are talking about. So I felt pretty good about myself in a particular minute.
Yep. Yeah. You're with it, and you're like, oh shit, I'm with it.
I'm with it.
I'm with it.
I'm hip. I'm with it.
I got
Nothing
it.
is a better victory than when like a middle schooler says like a compliment to you. Like I once had a girl being like, I like your top, and I was like, oh my god, I can like literally live my life for like that's like juice for like life for like 3 days. Like when you get a compliment from a kid, it's like the greatest thing.
Yeah.
Kindergartners, you're a natural celebrity. Like I'll walk into a kindergarten room and they're like, oh my god, Miss Mitchell, I made you this, and I made you this, and I made you this, and I made you this. Like I have boxes of just like random presents little children have made me. Like it's awesome. I just because I don't want to throw them away. I don't know. And like I know that's a very pack rat weird thing. Know that your teacher is keeping all the gifts you made them.
I did a gig at Brit School. I did a show at Brit School.
Oh yeah,
when that was still a thing, and so yeah, we went to her school and we did the show for the kids, and we were hanging out with them a little bit, and then they wrote us thank you cards, and they were the fucking best. They
Oh.
were so great because like most of them were like, you know, thank you so much, that was really fun. And then this is not one, but it was like this, right? It would be like, thank you so much, elephants are amazing. You know what I mean? Like, here's a picture of a camel. Like, thank you for coming.
I have a sister.
Yeah.
I have a sister.
Oh, that's
so
tell
great.
me.
So kids would always send letters to the troops and stuff, and there's a famous one that goes around online. It says, like, thank you for serving. I'm sorry you will die. Which is, and we got some that were pretty much that as well. It is so good.
That was
It's so
amazing.
funny.
Oh,
I'm
Oh
surprised
man.
that made it past the
Yeah, right.
the censor. Whoever, the esprit de corps is not going to be helped by this.
So funny.
that is amazing.
That is amazing. We're getting sort of towards our end, but Stephen, you have yet to tell a story, and you've been hinting around it all night. Maybe can you? What is the funniest weird thing? Because I'm sure a lot of fucked up weird things happen. But what is the funniest weird thing that ever happened to you in the military, where you were just like, this is fucking bonkers? Was there anything? I'm sure there were a lot of things, but or maybe there wasn't. Maybe there was nothing.
No. There's plenty. I'm a silly bitch, and I laughed all the time. There was like a time when we were in the Iraq and we were just on a patrol, and it was very low stakes. There was almost definitely nothing going to happen, but we were in this weird marshy area by the Tigris or the Euphrates, one of those rivers that started civilization. And like we like took a knee and we're there, and then like the wind rustled through the reeds and stuff like that, and I was like, oh. There's raptors in the long grass, and then like, and I was a squad leader, and then my entire squad's like on board with this like gag, but it's like in the middle of the night, so we all feign like we're panicking, like there's there's dinosaurs, and for a minute, and then we get up and go back or whatever. But like, yeah, we were while staying tactically sound or whatever, we were all suddenly in a universe where it wasn't any insurgents or whatever that we were illegally occupying their country. It was dinosaurs.
And I like that some in my mind also there was some insurgent watching you being like, what the fuck are they doing?
What are they doing? These new tactics are insane. Yeah. No, that could very well be why they ended up not attacking that night, because these guys suddenly they were onto us. We had no idea. But then there's also the time we were doing a training thing in another country, but it wasn't anyway. But we were ostensibly we were on like these like tour buses in between training things, and we were gonna go see a tourist site. Like not a big deal, but like there was like this insane fiction that like we weren't a bunch of Marines walking around, even though we all had the same haircut and like we all had appropriate civilian attire, which is like slacks and a button-up shirt. It was either
incognito.
And there's like 150 of us, right? Like anyway, and so like our sergeant gets on the bus. And is like, all right, Marines, remember when we're in public, we use each other's first names and stuff, so people don't know like who's in charge and stuff like that. And I go, okay, Sean, and he's like, what the? Like he like literally just went high into the right because I did exactly what he told. And obviously I did that to get under his skin, but it was literally what he just asked us to do. He about lost his freaking mind. It was one of the best moments of my life. It was very funny.
Like yell at you later or no?
No. He realized how dumb it was that yeah.
That's so good.
I love
and then
that.
When we got home, we got home from Iraq, and we were driving back, and it was a pretty chill deployment. I was in the infantry, but it was a very chill deployment. Nobody, anyway, whatever. And my platoon sergeant was from Rhode Island, and I'm from the West. I live in Boston now, but anyway, and he's like a Rhode Island townie or whatever you call that, and very serious man who'd been on a bunch of other deployments and stuff. Bless his heart, but he. Bless his he's also a fucking idiot. He could not spell to save his life. Bless his heart. He was like, he always made fun of us because we chose to join the Marines, whereas the judge made him, and we're like, ugh, that tracks. Anyway, but we're driving on the bus, about to get to the base where our families are, right? And someone said something funny, and I go, it feels good to laugh again, which is like, Job says it on Arrested Development, like the second he finds out that Tobias didn't actually die, and they were never actually sad. But I say that, and he just flips out on me. It's like, you motherfuckers have been giggling and laughing this whole goddamn deployment. I don't want to hear you. And we're like, what? Anyway, it was pretty great. Anyway, he was not wrong. He was very right. But
did you just live the plot of like a Bill Murray movie from the 80s? It sounds like you were basically like, no offense, like that you.
No.
Like, it seems like you made very positive of a lot of shit that was going down. So like, kudos to you on that.
I definitely did. It's interesting because I was actually in the one platoon that was like technically and tactically proficient in what we were doing.
Yeah.
The other platoons in our company were like, if they were they were the quintessential group that Bill Murray would have been in. They were like led by idiots. Who if anything had happened, so many of their guys would have died because they were doing so many things wrong.
Oh, wow.
And I just mean like stuff like taking care of their vehicles and like making sure radios worked and stuff. Like, it was a nightmare.
So you were in the snob platoon.
I was in the snob platoon. I was in the platoon that wore all black and was in the but also was the silliest one of all, like the whole damn company. And so I think I probably needed to do that in order to live with being in the snob platoon. But anyway, it was a whole situation. But
I like that. I'm going to share really quickly the story of a little, not really stolen valor, but almost that my roommate and I partook in. So my roommate Jenna and I, we lived with our friend Ken, who went to Japan not in the military in any way, shape, or form. He went to do an improv festival in Japan, and he got on a plane, and then he got all the way to Japan. It was like a 14-hour flight or whatever it is, and he got to Japan. He didn't know any better, and when they had the custom forms, it was like, have you ever been arrested for anything? And Ken was real dumb and was like, yeah, when I was a teenager, I got arrested for weed. And he got to the Japanese customs, and they were like, you're not allowed in our country. And so they put him up in a fucking hotel. And when I say put him up, he had to pay for it. But they like stationed a fucking armed guard outside his hotel room. And then
awesome.
The next day, put him back on a flight back to America. So he spent 28 hours on a plane and 12 hours in a fucking hotel room. It was the shittiest thing ever, right? And so Ken and I are like, we should do something really sweet for him. He's coming back. Let's throw him a party. Let's throw him a coming home party. And so we go to Party City and we start buying all these like welcome home, like fucking red, white, and blue things, everything like that.
Yeah.
And we get up to the front of the thing, and the woman's like, thank you so much. Is your friend? And we're like, yeah, our friend's coming back. And she's like, well, we're going to give you the 20% military discount. And I was like, yep. Like with that. Right? I mean, I feel like that's okay.
Do it. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. That's amazing.
And yeah, we got a whole bunch of USA stuff. And when he got home after that time, there were a bunch of people in his house ready for him and throwing him a big thing. And he was very happy about it. But
that's awesome.
Really nice.
We did not mean to. And then the woman was like, this is so great of you to be doing. She's like, you have such he has great friends. When's he coming back? And we were like, today. And then we were all like, oh fuck. We had the realization, as she was saying, we got 20% off, and we just went with it.
Sometimes
USA.
That's so good. That's awesome. 100%. Get that discount whenever you can.
I'm gonna do that every time I have a friend coming back from a trip.
Just go. Get some welcome home stuff.
Steal that valor. I hope that's cool.
There's literally no other reason to come back to our country than the off chance that you could get a discount at an establishment at this point.
Also, and maybe it's different because you have been in the military, but man, I love watching stolen valor videos. To me, watching somebody get called out for something, like the people who are wearing combat patches stuff. Or medals, and like they're completely wearing them wrong. I don't know. I really like that, and I like when they get called out by. There's like a guy who's like an ex-Marine, and he and his wife. That's like what
that's all they do.
That's
very
what
cool.
They do.
That's awesome.
And they just like scour Facebook looking for people, and then they like go and they confront them in person.
Nice.
And it's horrifying, but also you can't stop watching.
I'd say that's a good way to get shot, but I mean, these guys are cowards who just make stuff up anyway, so they probably don't.
Yeah, exactly. I think once I would say 90% of the time they usually start crying.
Sure.
Not,
I just said one line. It got out of control.
Yeah, exactly.
The best is that Chris Kyle who's the American Sniper guy, who's just a sociopathic murderer who happened to be in the right uniform. But he did a bunch of stolen valor stuff. Like he made up a bunch of he had a silver star and then made up that he had another silver star, which is what? You're already the most famous sniper guy. Why do you have to make stuff? He made up a bunch of stuff. They had to withdraw the first version of his book. They don't print it anymore because it had a bunch of nonsense in there. But as a Marine, I'm pumped that another Marine took him out. So I don't advocate murder for reals. Okay. Just state-sanctioned murders of invasion.
Murder. But I do love the idea that he's a compulsive liar, but he's so unimaginative that he can only lie about things
he's already done. Yeah, I did it twice. That's right. Okay.
I also love in the movie American Sniper. There's a scene with Bradley Cooper, and he's holding a baby.
There's a lie about a baby,
and then he does, and then it cuts back, and then he's clearly holding a doll. It is clearly a baby doll. Yeah. It's a baby at first, and then the shooting must have gone too long, and the baby had to go home, and they were like, keep going. Just put the doll in. Nobody will know. Everybody can tell.
He needs to work on his prop work or whatever, guy. It was clearly
there's a baby.
It was he's holding a... Yeah. Oh, man. So good. Yeah. It could have been a bag of flour. It was obvious that it was not something real, but he was told to treat it like a baby or he'd get in trouble.
Oh, man. Friends, we have reached the end of the show tonight. Rachel, I assume since you were such an active participant, yes, that there were no jokes tonight. They were all live jokes. All the jokes that you heard from Rachel were happening in real time, which was amazing. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. What a fun show. I want to thank my guests, Steve, and I want to thank Britt, Rachel, of course, and everybody watching at home. Yes, go pick up. Can people order that somewhere? Or
currentaffairs.org? Currentaffairs.org.
Currentaffairs.org. Order it. The article will eventually be online somewhere. We will post that link whenever on the 2MB social media, so keep your eye out for it. Discworld pushed me left. I couldn't figure the last word out, and I was like, that's okay. The book closed, and I was like, oh no. So check that out. Check out QAW this Thursday at 9 p.m. Check out Rachel doing some improv Sunday nights in August at Remnant Brewery at 7 o'clock. And check out this show again next week, 9 p.m. Tuesdays here on 2MB Studios. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. We also have a Patreon that has a lot of cool stuff. There's all sorts of ways you can support us, and we really appreciate all that support. Until next time, friends, have a great one, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Bye.